on no snare drum.
What's going on, everybody? This is Trend Kill Radio, a rock news show about all things rock, except for when it's not. Brought to you by the Foundry Concert Club right here in Cleveland, Ohio. I am your host, Sean Ryan.
And I am Coley Colgate.
Please, before we get started, subscribe.
Just do it! Make your dreams come true!
Help us out, you ingrates. What do we have this week? Not much.
Not much at all.
Still not. I mean, we're seeing like little hints of bands going, all right, well, we've planned out our 2021 tour, or even 2022, because God knows, like January 1st, we know it doesn't just like everything isn't erased, unfortunately. Right. But what we do have is a Sebastian Bach story. Everyone loves Sebastian, kind of, sort of, right?
Got fans.
You know what? I saw him. He's great. He's cool.
It's a real Cinderella story.
Yeah. But he was recently on the Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll podcast with your host, Big J. Okerson, comedian. I don't know if you guys follow too much stand-up comedy. I do. I've seen this guy since, 2008?
Yeah, he's been around for a little while.
Sebastian was recently sitting down with this podcast or whatever, and he was going on about, what is pre-game kind of like vocal warm-ups and all that kind of stuff. And Sebastian had mentioned, the only person that doesn't actually do any kind of warm-ups is Rob Halford of Judas Priest. And Rob Halford fucking wails, and it's hard to believe that guy, like, he is 69 years old, and he doesn't have to do any kind of pre-game warm-ups.
No screaming, no hitting the octaves, no, none of that. Just goes for it. That's crazy.
I know.
Considering what you think.
I know. Considering the dude's almost 70, yeah. Big J, so he's talking to Sebastian or whatever, and there's a whole cast, and we'll show you the video in a second. But Big J, he chimes in and he says, quote, his exercise is probably something gay he doesn't want to tell you. You gotta gargle jizz, but I don't know how to tell you that, Sebastian. End quote.
And Sebastian took some offense to that. Not for himself, but for Rob Halford, who he considers a friend. He said, don't shit tank this interview. It's nonsense. I don't think that's what Jay did at all, but I mean, Sebastian got mad. I mean, I still don't quite understand why he got mad. You can kind of watch it and see for yourself. Maybe you'll see something that we don't see, but I don't understand why he got upset. Well,
I can understand, defending your friends and everything like that, especially if they are in the minority. Some people, they say things and it's like not their place to do that. Would Big J Okerson, say like, oh, I'll bet you gargle jizz before your practice, if he were talking to him? Like,
I think he would.
That's not funny, though.
Right.
This, when he was talking to Sebastian, he was chiming in, trying to make a joke. And I think it was in good humor. He was trying to do something, and it didn't land well with Sebastian.
Didn't land well at all.
No. So, Sebastian, we'll show you this video right here.
And Halford tells me that he doesn't warm up, which just shoots everything I just fucking said out the window. But I don't know if he's kind of embellishing the truth a little, because how cool would that be? I don't need any of that shit. It's like,
his exercise is probably something gay. He doesn't want to tell you. He goes, you got to gargle jizz, but I don't know how to tell you that, Sebastian.
Dude, could you not fucking wreck this interview? Like, seriously. Like, Rob Halford's a friend of mine.
He's a genius.
So spare the fucking comments, because I'm not posting that. That's for sure.
Shortly after that, you can see that Sebastian, he just deleted his Zoom call and just got the hell out of there.
He cut the feed, but he was still there in audio for a minute, and there was some scuffling and some weird noises, and they're trying to figure out what was going on, and then he totally just signed off. So
it sounds like a Sebastian Bach thing, like not knowing technology.
Right, yeah. It was right after the joke, so it's leading people to believe that maybe he was that pissed off that he said, fuck this interview, I'm done here, and just left. Which is a very rock star thing to do.
Yeah, and then just a couple days later, Rob Halford was on this very same show, and Big J had to kind of explain himself and say, talk about this story that Sebastian Bach had basically walked off after him making a joke, and it got very awkward. It's like you could just take a look right here.
How he goes, your voice all these years staying so amazing. Like, what's the secret to it? And he goes, well, it's all warm-up technique. Look at everybody laughing at me. It's all warm-up technique, and it's not rocket science, man. You just got to do it. And he goes, the only person, this is still Sebastian Bach, he says, the only person I know who says they don't do any warm-ups or technique is the amazing and great my friend Rob Halford. I'm a comedian waiting in a corner, and I go, well, Sebastian, I hate that I have to say this right now. I go, well, Sebastian, or Sebastian, maybe it was just something gay he didn't want to tell you, like gargling jizz. And I will tell you, he shut off emotionally at that moment so hard. He goes, yo, man, that's my good friend. And then I start immediately backpedaling. This is a dumb joke. And I go, no. He's a genius, Rob Halford. I've paid to see him in concert many, many times. I'm a huge fan. He goes, I'm not cool with you saying shit like that, man.
But you know what? As weird and awkward as Big J was, Rob Halford, he took the punches and like he thought it was hilarious. You know,
he rolled with it. Yeah, he did the right thing. I mean, granted, he's on there promoting his book, but you want everyone to like you. You don't want to cause a scene. But I guess in that scenario, that would probably be good publicity as well. But yeah, he played it cool and he laughed right along with it and he cracked his own jokes. The thing Sebastian should have done was rolled with the punch, but he didn't. So
well, it's not really about Sebastian. It's not, so I mean, it's about his friend. And if, he took offense to that, like I can understand why you would. But when Rob Halford was on, he said, quote, "Let me say 3 things. I did a Zoom with Sebastian the other day, and it was a typical Sebastian. He couldn't get the Zoom to work, and he had that thing where you put your face right up against the camera, and you're looking up his nostril, and he's screaming at his wife, and he's screaming at his kids."
Is this on? Can you see me?
And it's complete and utter pandemonium. And we're trying to make it connect, and it did connect. We had a great conversation. He's a terrific guy. He's so much fun. And second thing is, I don't gargle, I swallow. End quote.
Perfect. Nailed it.
I mean, it must be wild. Like I'm not in that kind of situation where you've maybe been oppressed your entire life and you've been hiding. I mean, Rob Halford only came out of the closet like 20 years ago.
Right.
It was still very much a taboo thing for a long time. Now it's just like widely accepted. I mean, Coley, you and I, we live in a city that there is a large LGBTQ population and it's very diverse where we live.
Yeah. Plus, outside of that, we be fucking.
I'm not out yet. Shut up.
Well, sorry.
That whole fiance thing, it's a ruse.
It's all an act.
Smoke bomb!
Situation probably could have been avoided had Jay, instead of saying it's probably something gay, just left that part out and said, yeah, he actually just gargles cum. That wouldn't have been as bad. But to label that gay, because you don't have to be gay to gargle cum.
No, you don't.
Is that, I don't know, I'm asking.
I've seen many a lady of the night do the same thing. So yeah, no, it's not technically gay.
No. So you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Maybe that's what it was. That one word, which in 2020 really doesn't fly, and it shouldn't.
Well, I mean, he didn't say gay is a regular word that you can kind of say. If you were to use a disparaging word, the F word or something like that, that's not good. You shouldn't do that. All of us here at Drinkle Radio, we are not about any kind of bullshit like that. You shouldn't be hating on people for being the way that they are. But I mean, at the same time, it is weird. Comedians have been under fire for some time now. We are in a weird time where, it was obvious that Big J, was trying to make a joke. And, for some people, it doesn't land. I mean, the same thing happens with Bill Burr and Tom Segura and even Bert Kreischer and a lot of people. Bill Burr was on Saturday Night Live not too long ago and white women were outraged. I mean, you can look up his monologue on Saturday Night Live. Bill Burr,
you guys stood by us toxic white males through centuries of our crimes against humanity. You rolled around in the blood money. And occasionally, when you wanted to sneak off and hook up with a black dude, if you got caught, you said it wasn't consensual. Yeah, that's what you did.
Yeah, if you're a pain in the ass white woman.
Comedy's all about the audience in front of you. If you tell a joke and it lands with that audience, it may not land with another audience. So what might be offensive to one is not offensive to another. And I think that's kind of what happened here, where if Sebastian would have been maybe anyone else, that probably wouldn't have been an issue, wouldn't have gone down that way. But he took a level of offense to it, and here we are talking about it.
Well, no, it was a joke. It's just like, you just didn't like it. Everyone knows a dead baby joke. I have seen a phenomenal 9/11 joke that had me in tears. I mean, comedy's all subjective.
Do you remember the 9/11 joke?
No, because it was a long late. I saw it on the Alan Cox show.
You're supposed to never forget. Oh, God.
That's good.
We're going to go to hell.
Well, I'll see you there. I don't want to go.
Hell, yeah.
You know, all our friends are going to be there, so.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fucking awesome time. I can't wait.
Yeah, I know. So, I mean, what do you think? I mean, blast off in the comments. Do you think Big J was over the line? Do you think Sebastian was being, you know, a little touchy? And then Rob, you know, he rolled with the punches or whatever. It doesn't mean he's not offended. Maybe he was hiding it. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't think he was. I think he saw it for what it was, surface level toilet humor, and ran with it. And you know, why would you get mad?
Yeah, another thing, Rob, he was saying, you know, I've always wanted to do a celebrity roast and be the victim, you know.
Yeah.
So like he said to that show, if you guys ever arrange anything, like please let me, like let me be on. I'd be honored. You know, no judgments here from either party, but I mean, what do you guys think? Let us know.
I want to just add one thing. I really like doing these Zoom sessions because I don't know if you know this or not, but every time we've done them, I'm not wearing pants.
Oh, prove it.
Yeah. So, you know, just totally not wearing pants.
Okay, well, thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like, subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you guys think, blah, blah, blah. Follow us on Instagram, to Facebook to a lesser extent. It's just memes, basically, on that fucking page. It sucks.
Memes hit, though, man. They're good. They're good. They're good memes.
But be sure, subscribe. Help us out. We need beer money. And thank you guys so much for watching once again. I am Sean Ryan.
And I am Spooky. Happy Halloween.
And this is Trend Kill Radio.